You're saying the right record. How come that now that you wrote maybe more songs that needed, well, the bigger treatment? How come?
It just happened that way. I didn't plan it.
No, but I mean, maybe where did you write the song? I'm trying. Maybe there was some sort of thing that happened that you said that made you write these songs, or is it?
No, I mean, these songs are very hopeful songs, even though they're sometimes about very sad subjects. They're very hopeful songs, and I think that I spent a couple of years living quietly in the country, and maybe in some way I had this feeling of it's time to get moving again. I'm a bit of a gypsy, and so I think that in order to do that, in order to live in the country the way I've lived for the last 7 years, I think I needed to learn how to be still. And that was part of this very mellow music that I've been playing for the last 5 or 6 years. But in the last year, I think maybe I have felt this desire to get moving again. And that's reflected in these songs. These songs have a lot of energy, a lot of movement, like Eastbound Train, you know, I'm on Your Side. These are very songs that are full of movement and energy. And I think that's the reason possibly why I had this desire to make a record this way. To challenge myself to get moving again.
And have you moved already, or?
Oh, I haven't moved from my home at all, but no, I still live at home, but I'm moving around a lot more. I still have the same base back in Ireland, but I'm going to be on tour for a year with this album.
But can you tell, well, you were saying 7 years. If you look back on your life, can you say that you had some sort of...
Cycles?
Yeah?
Yeah, but they're not really very clear, and they don't necessarily last for 7 years, but yeah, for sure. But I think, you know, before 7 years ago, I was on a cycle musically that lasted nearly 15 years. From the time that I went to America in 1987 until the time that I recorded, say, Amsterdam, the live album, which would have been 2003 or something. You know, that's a long time, and I was doing pretty much the same kind of show, the same kind of energy, almost like a one-man punky kind of energy. But by the time I finished with Amsterdam, I was really tired of that. I really needed to do something different. And so for the next 5 years, I did.
Yeah.
And now I'm feeling some of that old energy coming back again. So I think that's where this record comes in, because people who know me a long time say about this record that it reminds them of the early records that I did with Warner Brothers, like Riverside and the Acoustic Motorbike.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. I think this is in some ways the best album I've ever made, because I think it has elements of all the records I've made before, but with new songs and with new musicians. So I think it's definitely something for the future that has nice little shadows from the past as well. And it makes it, for anybody who's never heard my music before, I think this is the best record they could buy.
You mean with all the elements more or
Yeah.
less here? Did Tribe have something to do with it?
I think Tribe had something to do with it, because Tribe was different from anything I'd ever done before. Yeah. I had never collaborated with another songwriter before. I'd never given somebody else permission to write all the music before. You know, I just said to Simon O'Reilly, please, you write all the music, I just want to be a singer for this record. So he wrote almost all the music, and I wrote all the lyrics and the songs from his music. And that kind of gave me the courage to do this one, even though they're two completely different records. And this record is much closer to my live performance and to what I was doing before, but it's still completely different from Tribe. But there was something about that experiment in Tribe that I think gave me the courage to do this one.
Maybe to work closely with other people while recording? Maybe
so. That's possible.
Because now you did the same, maybe.
I did more so, yeah. Because I've worked with a lot of people on this record who I never worked with before. And in the case of the drummer and the bass player, recorded all the basic recordings were done live together in the studio with no monitors and no headphones. So in other words, it had to be good, it had to be strong.